Hi, it's me, Nika. And, okay, so we all know my family is a little bit odd. And my children, when they were growing up, um, learned some odd things from me. I'm actually really, really handy with a knife. I was taught that at a somewhat early age, in my early teens, how to handle a knife and how to handle it well. And this is something, sorry, construction is going on in the apartment as we speak, and so there will be some noise. Um, I wanted to teach my children how to use knives practically and properly, and so that they do not injure themselves in the process. And so, um, when I make roasts, certain types of roasts, normally pork, I tend to stab it up, like really deep, long stabs, so that I can get the seasonings really deep into the meat without, having to chop it up and cook it all sliced up and whatnot. And so, uh, it's ridiculous. Um, while I was preparing food one day, my one of my daughters, little miss, walked into the kitchen and she was like, "Mom, why are you playing Stabby Rip Stab Stab with the food?" And so I turned around and I looked at her. She was my second youngest. Um, and I said, "All right, anyone in the house who wants to learn how to play Stabby Rip Stab Stab, come into the kitchen right now." And so they did. And I showed them how to hold the knife, and I stood behind them. You know how, like, some guys show a girl how to shoot pool, that they stand behind them and hold them in their position. And I did the same thing with my kids individually, and while I was showing them how to use the knife. My son thought it was cool, and then he was like so over it in 20 seconds. Um, the kid kind of took to it and didn't took to it real quick, and then didn't like it because he got his hands slimed. Little Miss was all for it, and the zombie, she was all about it. She's still all about it. Every time she gets to cook, she's like, "Do I get to play and Stabby Rip Stab Stab this time?" And I know that my kids took this terminology from an emo song, which is hilarious, but it's now ingrained in their mind that this is a game we play when we go to cook. So they go around telling people I taught them how to play Stabby Rip Stab Stab, which makes me sound like a completely irresponsible parent, when in fact it's not that at all. I was trying to teach them how to be responsible with a knife, and they've learned clearly, because they do exceptionally well, and their roasts come out impeccable. And so, yeah, that's the story for today on how I worked my children's minds. And yeah, if you've got one to tell me of how you messed up your kids' minds too, feel free to let me know. Because these are the types of stories I enjoy. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.